Hello. Let's talk about a serious subject now. Violence in video games. Ooh, the controversy. It is frankly rather ridiculous that this is still a subject, although it may be an interesting psychological study in some respect. Um, I find it still absolutely appalling and ridiculous how some people will always blame something else and simplify matters rather than actually taking at a look taking a look at the problems at hand, problems that are actually serious and need to be addressed and taken care of, such as psychological welfare, health issues, mental issues, um, you know. But apparently, people will still, many people, even up in high places and well-respected people, will always be looking at simple solutions still and someone to blame. And there is a certain, um, shall we say, comfort in looking at things in black and white. And if there's a simple solution to something, that'd be great, but that is not the case. People, human beings are not simple. We are very, very complex. Therefore, the solutions to problems are usually complex. It usually involves a rather large amount of things to be taken into account and needs and wants and things that it's hard to put a figure on it, hard to put a number on it. you know, we're still guessing so much. But today, there's still talk about how violence in video games could possibly turn someone into a maniac and go on a killing spree. I do not believe this is the case. I think it is far, far more complex than that. I have personally been playing violent video games since a very young age. One of the very first games I played was Wolfenstein 3D, which is the grandfather of first-person shooters. It's an excellent game. I did not pick up any violent behavior from playing that at a very young age. It didn't teach me to become an expert at shooting people. I have never touched a gun in my life, but then I also live in Sweden, so we don't have that issue really. Um, if you have guns around, someone's going to get killed by them, right? So the simple solution is actually to get rid of the guns. The guns I have actually touched and held and shot have been, what you called? Well, recreational ones where you just shoot targets. It's not actual, live ammo. And I've also shot crossbow for the same reason for recreational value. I'm not saying that video games can't teach you things. I learned some historical stuff playing Assassin's Creed. I have enhanced my sense of orientation, finding my way around, and I have also enhanced my um, reflexes. These are all factors that people have made studies of that you can pick up from playing video games. Um, but if you were playing a shooter and someone actually claimed that you would become a killer by doing so, uh, no. In that case, I would have by now become an expert at, you know, uh, surgery and God knows what. You play as a lot of different things and emulate a lot of different things, but you don't become. I mean, There is a major difference between shooting someone in a game and shooting someone in real life. Please, don't bring me that. And you know, before video games, it was films, and before films, it was books, and in between there was music. You know, rock music would make you into a lunatic, books would make you into a lunatic. It's the same old, but it's not that easy. On the other hand, I do agree that you can be inspired by something, but to make a point, there was a robbery in Sweden way back, many years back, that took inspiration from a comedy film here, a Jönssonligan film. Uh, so you can inspire from anything, from any media. If you want to take inspire from an Eminem song, you will do so. If you want to take inspire from Shakespeare, you will do so. How much violence isn't there in the Bible? And also, whenever someone says, I did it because God told me so, nobody stops and says, oh God, religion is really doing a number on all these people. Let's ban religion. Please. That has nothing to do with it. If you do take inspiration from something like this, there was something obviously wrong with you from the beginning. You either have a mental issue of some sort, you have problems in your life, you live a horrible life, you have been taught things from other people beforehand, you have a lack of empathy, you have a frustration, you're being bullied, or you're an extreme outcast, or you have extreme need of money, you're starving, or you're dying, or you're doing something for somebody else. There's a reason behind it. I've been playing violent video games, and I love violent video games. I've been playing it since I was a kid. I've been watching horror movies since I was a kid. I've been watching splatter movies and gore movies. I love Eminem as an artist. I don't take his words as some sort of gospel. You have to be in a certain place mentally from the beginning to take the step to become a killer or a violent person, or you know, it's ridiculous that this is still an issue in this day and age. You know, when I play a game, I am thoroughly informed that it is a game. I never get so engrossed in anything that I can't tell reality from fake, from imagination. If you do, you're either blaming it on it, or you have something going on from the start, which makes you unable to, tell the difference. But the medium in itself is not the issue, and it should not be banned, and it should not be censored. I am totally against censorship of this kind. You have to trust people to be that intelligent and that knowledgeable. And I mean, Jesus Christ, when you're like a normal person, no offense, but from the time you're 5-ish, you can tell the difference between right and wrong, almost at least. I mean, sure, it may differ, but even when you're a kid, young kid, you can tell. You read these stories and you know that they're stories. Things don't work this way. It just... it makes me sad. And I mean, a game like that got so much controversy around it. What was it called? Hatred was the word. And so I don't understand how people can be so upset about it. In my opinion, I haven't played it, so I can't actually have a proper opinion, but it just looks boring to me. But how can it be controversial? You're shooting pixelated people. Um, just like with any other game, it's a game. I don't see the problem with like, oh, they didn't add children into the GTA series because then you'd be able to shoot children because you are able, if you so choose, to shoot anybody in that game, although you get the cops on you. So you get punished for shooting civilians in that game, and you can always choose not to. But I mean, so what? Um, Women and children or men, uh, war scenarios, you shooting other soldiers, all of them, if you want to look at it that, all of them are people, or all of them are just pixelated code. What does it matter? You you can be affected by a game's story and if you feel immersed at the moment, but at the end of the day you shut it off. And you're no different person. Hopefully you're a little bit, I mean, good games can show you, like Spec Ops The Line, I think, is the one that shows you, like, that makes you feel bad about your killing. And, you know, it's much more interesting story-wise, if it gives you some sort of thought behind it. But that is the story doing that. The story and atmosphere and the frame around the game, not the actual mechanics of shooting something or someone. Why is shooting zombies always okay? Why is shooting soldiers always okay compared with shooting women and children? Doesn't matter because it's not real. And you will not become a killer for playing violent video games or video games that includes violence. You just learn to play that game in question. It is not reality. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted. This is still an issue. It's ridiculous, and I wish people would stop it. Don't waste your time and money and effort on and thoughts even on this issue. Look at the issue at hand. Look at the real issue. Psychological welfare, psychiatry, therapy, help people in need. That's what you need to do. Also, just a slight addition. Yes, I have been playing violent video games since a very young age. I still play violent video games weekly, most likely. And I am a pacifist. Yes, you can be both at the same time. Also, I really do believe that people need to stop blaming things like this and claim it's out of their hands. Talk to your children. Teach your children empathy. I think we also, as a society, have a responsibility to jump in when we see bullying or cruelty to animals done by children or any people of any ages, or harassment, or we need to step up. We really need to take our responsibility and step up because we'd like someone to do that for us. And also because if nobody does it, how are people going to learn the rules if they do have trouble with the rules? Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.